What you should do and what you shouldn't do when starting locks. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is Tracy and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Today I wanted to come to you with some do's and don'ts when it comes down to starting locks. So if you're interested in what I have to say, please stay tuned. But first things first, if you're new here and this is your first time viewing any of my content, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. And if you one of my old ride or dies that's been there with me from then until now, I see you and love you, and thank you so much for your more support. Anyways, let's get right into this. Some do's and don'ts of locks, starting locks. I was inspired to do this video because I know someone that was starting locks and they was having so much trouble to where they just gave up. But they might start back, so I hope that they check out this video before they start again. So I wanted to go ahead and share my do's and don'ts on what it is that I believe that you should and shouldn't be doing. Now, I know some might ask, well, who are you? You're not no professional. Well, first of all, I do have locks, and I have 3 years in experience with my locks. So I'm here to be able to answer some questions, because I believe that if you got one set of locks, no matter what set that you decide to get, all of it just about works the same, because you still would have to do the same thing no matter if it's a braid lock from a coil lock, okay? So, or sister lock to a coil lock. It all depends, okay? But it's basically the same thing no matter which ones you get, because braids do unravel, twists unravel, coils can come apart, the twisting, the two-strand twist, all of that can come apart if we're doing some of the things that I am going to talk about in this video. Okay, I want to start off with, first of all, with the don'ts. My first thing I have for don'ts is I have wrote down my list, y'all. See. So I'm in on this and was making sure that I give the best information that I can give. Don'ts that I feel that we definitely shouldn't be doing when it comes down to starting locks. When you think about starting locks, there's a lot of things that we're gonna have to stop doing based on what we were doing before we decided to start locks. So this is why for this video. Okay, number one is no heavy products. That means all the conditioners that you've been using for your natural hair or your relaxed hair, you got to stop using that, especially if it's moisturizing. Because if those products are moisturizing, then guess what? Locks, you don't need the moisturization not to get the lock started, okay? Because you got to keep in mind your hair has already been just moisturized. What's got to happen? All of that got to decrease. It have to pretty much go back to no products at all in order for that to really take form and take shape. Okay, if you've been using like a moisturizing shampoo, then stop using that shampoo, because you want to use something that's more like drying to the hair, to where it gives you, where it will set the hair up to where it can go ahead and start locking. So, and all these heavy creams and all of that is, all this thing is going to do is prolong the locking process, because the hair is too moisturized. It's just not going to do nothing. It's just going to constantly keep coming apart. So you don't want that. You want it to be where it starts to lock. Okay, so that's one thing. No moisturizing sprays, none of that type of stuff. Jerry curl spray and all that, you can't use that when it comes down to locking hair. You have to get rid of the moisturizing and heavy creams and heavy products, okay? And if another thing I wanted to add with that, if you constantly want to use that, only thing it's going to do is cause a buildup. Then you're going to want to constantly keep washing your hair, and which you can't do, which goes to number 2, where it says you can't wash your hair like normal. Now, normally we have a regimen set where we probably wash our hair once a week or every 2 weeks or something like that. Well, you can do that, but when you're starting locks, you can't. You want to decrease. So whereas if you wash your hair once a week, you really need to go down to maybe once a month. If you wash your hair to bi-weekly, that's every 2 weeks, then you still might want to wash your hair every 4 weeks. You want to get the hair set up to where it's not being washed anymore, and that is setting it up to where it's going to start intertwining, because that's what really causes the locks, is the intertwining of the hair. And as we shed hair, everything beads into a lock. Everything, every single thing. Why? Because we're not combing, not doing any of that. The hair just doing its own thing at a certain point, depending on the type of locks that you decide to get. Okay, number 3, don't retwist, or you don't want to keep coiling too often. Usually the best time to really do that is when you do wash your hair, and that's going to be like maybe that once a month type situation. Then you could retighten or retwist. Well, coiling is you just coiling just the new growth part. As far as the retwisting, you only retwisting the new growth part, and so forth and so on. Okay, so that it would be the best time to really do your maintenance. Sometimes you might want to slide a couple of times, even though you wash your hair. You might don't want to go ahead and retwist, but it's up to you and you know how you see that, but you just don't want to do it often. Okay. Number 3, I had put on here no styling. You know your hair when you first start out, but then it depends on that individual, because if you're like me, where you got your hand in the hair syndrome, your hand's always in your hair, you're trying to do this, trying to do that, the less manipulation of your hair is better, to where if you decide to do a style, just make sure whoever you got doing it, they not doing your hair so tight, or to where it's something that you got to keep being bothered with. You want your hair to be left alone. Okay, so that is the purpose of the style, but I really don't recommend the styles when you first get locks. Why I don't really recommend it is because you want your hair to form, get the lock shape. You want your locks to start shaping on its own, to where you basically only thing you're doing is washing it, resetting it the way that you do it, and just let it go. But to each his own. Who am I? Okay, but these are my things that I believe that you shouldn't do. Another one is don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. Patience is key when it comes down to locking. Enjoy the process. Embrace it. That's really about it, because it's going to take time. It's not something that we can just get up and do and it's over. No, it's going to take time. So you don't want to rush anything, because the only thing you're doing is running your blood pressure up, and your hair is still going to lock when it's going to lock. So what is you getting from that? The main thing is patience. I find locks to be a hairstyle that is what they call carefree. It allows you to get your mind off of your hair and onto something else that is not, so dealing with your hair. Okay? So really, that was it as far as the don'ts. Now I'm coming to the do's. Now the first one I'm going to really say is that a lot of people should, take in context, if you want, but you could do your own research about this and figure out for yourself what you feel is best for you, okay? But it's just if you can't and you want to go ahead, and I would suggest to go to a loctician, go to a professional, and ask them your questions, because they could probably be able to answer your questions a lot better than anybody, because if you don't know yourself, then they would be the next best, because they're looking at your hair. They can pretty much tell you what's best, what's not best. So definitely go to a professional if you feel that's what you need to do. And if not, do your own research before doing this. That's exactly what I did. That's the reason why I came up with the results I came up with, and they are working for me. So number 1, as far as the do's, you want to definitely protect your mane. Protect your mane at night when you go to sleep. Put on a satin bonnet, a satin scarf. Either get your satin pillowcases together. No, you ain't got to worry about the sheets, because then you might get up sliding out the bed. So I ain't going to say you get the satin sheets. But if you want to, and that's what you want to do, then go right ahead. But you definitely want to get some satin pillowcases, or wear a satin scarf, to where debris from your blanket, lint, and all that kind of stuff won't get in your hair, because locks do hold on to lint, guys. I do have to tell you that once they are locked, once your hair get that little roughness to it, it traps everything gets right into your hair. So yeah, you want to cover your hair as much as possible, even in the daytime. If you find yourself going outside a lot, stuff flying around, it's a windy day, that junk can get right in your hair. Tie your hair up anyway, or just do this, You got to wear a jacket or something with a hood, put that hood on your head and walk faithfully, queen or king. Okay. Number 2, I put on here to use light oil. When using light oil, that means don't put a lot of product in your hair. That goes along with the, the one I was saying, don't use heavy products. Well, you got oils that can be heavy as well too. But you really can use whatever oil that you want. I can't tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Now, if I wanted to put oil on my hair, it's going to be the lightest as possible. Something like, you can get yourself like a spray oil. This is the one, I know this is an empty bottle, y'all, but I do got another one. But I use this most of the time. It's a spray oil. It's from the Rasta Jamaican Mango and Lime collection. Brand. And it's like a spray oil that has all the different good stuff in it that you would need when it comes down to locks. But you definitely don't want to be spraying a lot of this in your hair as well. You really only need to be spraying an amount of oil in your hair maybe every 2 weeks or so, okay? The main thing I would say at starter locks, what you really could do is just leave your hair alone and just spray, like take water and just put it in a spray bottle and just mist your hair with it, because water helps hair to lock. I don't know if a lot of people knows that. Water helps hair to lock. I remember hearing somebody saying that water didn't work for their hair. Yes, it does. It's just probably how you were using it, and depending on the amount of product you had in your hair. Only thing it did was to wet that product back up to make your hair loose again. So that's the reason why I was saying really no products if you can. You can get away with not using any products, then that would just be magnificent, really. But do not let nobody tell you that water do not work for your hair. Your hair works with water. I don't give a care what you do to it. Water is number 1, okay? So definitely that, and really light oil. That's all you really need to wash, truth be told, okay? Number 3, when you wash your hair, go ahead and band it up or put on a hair net or something. That way it stops the manipulation of this part of it, to where this will go ahead and lock like it needs to, but you are taking care of that scalp, okay? That's just a tip. And a lot of us with sister locks, we braid and band. My hair is braid locks. I do the procedure on how to take care of sister locks in my hair. So that's the reason why I guess a lot of people tell me my hair look like sister locks, but actually I started them out with braids. But hey, I'm not getting ready to say nothing. Right? Every time I see somebody, I'm gonna say, "Oh no, I started this out with braids." I'm not about to go through all. In between the shampooing, you can use witch hazel to clean the scalp by putting it on a cotton ball and just rubbing it on the scalp. That's in between the shampooing process. Sometimes our scalp needs a little bit of cleansing due to products that we might have used that have dried up and made the scalp feel very dry and crusty like. So use some witch hazel to clean that off. That's basically what I do. Okay, number 4, separate your locks. When you do moisturize your locks with water or maybe oil or something, you want to separate it to make sure that they're not intertwining. If you are one like me where you want to keep your grid nice and neat, then your hair is not going to give a care about you want to keep that grid nice and neat. It's going to intertwine up there together. But what you need to do, once you spray and moisturize it with water and some oil, then you can just go in there and like separate. Make sure that nothing is coming together. Now the biggest time you want to really do that is like after washing your hair, and like you be that spray to moisturize it with water maybe once a week or so, and then you do that, then you could go ahead and do that then, because it's nothing it is so hurtful. Like when you got people to go and they get those sister locks and they want to get that retighten around there, and they got to be going like that. Okay, I hear a lot of people say it hurts. I do not let my hair stay that long to where I have not really experienced that. But what I do is when I moisturize my hair, I do go through there and pull each one apart to make sure that it's not intertwining together. Okay. And the next one is I have put to embrace your mane. Embrace and love the hair and skin that you are in. Don't worry about how somebody else's hair is going, because their hair is going to be different and their lock journey is going to be different from yours. Everybody's lock journey is their own lock journey. If you feel comfortable, do document it. make videos of your hair. The last one I did say, if you get a style, to make sure that the style is not tight. If you was one that liked and wants styles, make sure they're not tight. Make sure that you, when that person, whoever you get to do them, look, you're pulling something here, okay? So really, guys, that's really pretty much it when it comes down to my do's and don'ts. I really hope that this video helped you guys. And if you do, go ahead and share with me in the comments of what it is that you found helpful in this video. And also, guys, one of the things I did forget to say to do, drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water, because the water works best from the inside out. So we want to drink plenty of water to prevent that itchy scalp that we also might get when it comes down to having locks and starting locks. Okay, so drink plenty of water. And yeah, so with that being said, oh, one more thing, I will put in the comment section another video of some questions that was asked when it came down to starter locks from a friend. She wanted these questions asked. So if your question wasn't in this video, what you felt that needed to be asked, go ahead and check that video out. I will link it in the card section as well as in the description box, so go ahead and check it out. But that's it, y'all. I'm going to end this video at 17:10, but I'd like to thank y'all so very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. So until you all, I'll see you all again. Bye.